Hello, Dursa.
Hi, Diazag.
So great to be here with you.
Yeah, it's good get to see you. And this is our first. Um, this podcast is about community engaging and through social media. So this is what we are going to talk about it a little bit. And tell me about your background, and I will explain my background as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here with you. And our complex biographies led us here.
Definitely.
My native family is from Kosovo, and they came as refugees to Germany. And I was born there and adopted to a German family.
Wow. Okay.
So this is already a long background story itself. And after I traveled to so many countries, I decided to stay here in Malta.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I love it so much because I was able to make my dream come true and to study performing arts here. And
Wow. Okay.
this is how I met you, and I'm so excited
Yeah,
that
cool. I mean, you see, we have a different background, and the story begin. I moved to Malta when I was like nearly 18. So I moved
mm,
to Malta as a refugee, and I make it my life. Started building from scratch in Malta.
mm,
So yeah, I mean, always dreaming, making myself a better person and improving, and but of course looking back and reaching outside of my life and how I can make a change in my environment. And so yeah, and that's how we come across each other, and
mm.
through uh, non-profit organization I'm running, which is Spark 15 organization. And of course, um, you know so many thing behind you. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and it requires so much to come all by yourself to a new country and face so many differences. And all these differences, you can use them, you can try to understand and to fuse with the culture as much as
Yeah,
possible.
for
But
sure.
in the end, we come with our own baggage, with our own trauma, with our own background story, and by ourselves. And to
Yeah,
do the best
definitely.
out of it and to see it so positive as you
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
as you see the world, is just such a strong lifestyle.
For sure. I mean, like, everyone have a different package, as you say it.
Hmm.
And then those, package that we have is very different. And, but when it comes to the migration movement, it's really tough. And then there is so many traumatized, and there is so many challenge, and there is so many difficulties, and there's up to losing life,
Yeah.
there's to losing family, there's
Yeah.
up to
Mm.
losing what you have.
Mm.
And then through that, make it to the place where you are going to be. And sometimes you don't even have plan,
Mm.
because you plan something come across, and the result will be different, and they don't even make it to the distance that you are planning. In this journey, in this movement, there's so many things happening which out of your control,
Totally.
and that's, you're not really responsible, but you only do what you can. And that's how take my step, moving forward, and just using what I can, and keep my positivity, and then
Yeah.
keeping hope as well.
Mm.
That's you can't, because there's a situation coming just make you give up. But you've got to decide that either you just sitting down there and doing nothing, which is unfortunately there's a lot of, and that happened to a lot of people. But when you come to see that hope, maybe tomorrow is better, and maybe something better is coming, and then you just keep facing, you keep pushing, and keep in a different angle, in a different way. So here we are. It's we may you know come across to problems in a different ways,
Mm.
but everyone, I believe, have a problems. But I don't see, okay, maybe me as a Dursa, I have a problem. You don't.
Mm.
Everyone have a different, and everyone have a problems in around us. So yeah.
But it makes me curious to see where you take all that energy from, all that energy to say, my life is full of these really big challenges, and I'm trying to use them as much as possible to my advantage and to stand up every morning and face these challenges.
Wow.
And that is something. that I admire so deeply, that you have this vastness of energy behind you. This is, yeah, it's
Thank you for that.
incredible.
I don't see that as strong, but I mean, the problem I face is actually motivate me, inspired me, and the challenge itself when you don't have anything that help you or anything that that you look up to. There's every like angle that you see, there's problems, and then you have to make it work your own way in your own steps, and you don't have choice. That's make you actually okay. Thank God I wake up. I can handle this. It needs just one step at a time.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the problems that we have interact every single day. It's make us, I think, resilient, and we have to use it in a way, in a positive way. Yeah.
And also to see and recognize the gap of what your family's doing at the moment, how they're struggling, or mine, and how privileged we already are. I'm waking up to this palm trees and the beautiful ocean around me, and I can do my arts. And this feels just so, it feels like this big gap between a family that doesn't know if they can eat something tonight and us. Like it is, for me, it is so difficult sometimes to cope with these differences in
Yeah,
society.
for sure. That's not the thing, because as I said, like one thing is always keep me moving forward. There's a hope because it's getting better at some point. I believe that, and but you can't really achieve a great thing in just over the night. And today I feel pretty much privileged compared to my life, background when I brought up. Of course, it's a totally different environment. And but through out of this trauma and these problems, I've got to see myself, like brought to myself in a better place. And even though there is still so gravity and so challenge in place, but I don't see myself waking up and thinking and negative thing. Okay, what I'm going to do tomorrow? What's
And
going
what would
to happen?
happen if you
What will
ever gave
happen?
up? Then
So yeah,
there's nothing, right? If you ever allow yourself to
yeah,
catch that thought of like, I cannot,
yeah,
then you're done.
for
Like
sure,
there,
100%. Yeah. So that's where we come to the point I want to bring it into, like what we like, breaking down the diversity when it comes to new environment. And because it is for me like it's a hard thing when I see it when I moved to Malta, and as an individual when I see the migrant community as well, when very very low diversity in in terms of migration, and when the people come to Malta, especially with the boat, they still pretty much exclusive. It's like very outside. No one
totally,
happening. No one know what's
totally,
happening in the society that we are
totally.
living in. Because there is no better information, better guideline, or better education, and there is no, like I feel there's no more in inclusion. Of course, like everyone doing their best, but and if we sometimes the situation need to force to make things better in a way that we believe because the situation it will be better, and it is good for everyone. We have to force it that situation. I mean, if we start implementing the education and way, okay, if you don't learn the culture and language, you can't survive in this country. That need to be in place, for example. And maybe the situation how people live every single day is hard, but we have to find a solution for that as well. So it is everyone see from different angle, but how we come together for that issues to find solution together.
And that is exactly the key word. I would love us to really have empathy and to really try to understand where you're coming from. Try to understand that all of us, we can build a community, not the migrant community, the Maltese community. I want to see a fusion, and this fusion is happening with English people and Maltese or other countries that are considered from the like European center, but I really want to see that worldwide. And for this, so much awareness still has to happen here. And I really hope that this is going to pick up, and that we, not only with saying negative things and this cannot stay like this, but also with positiveness, also with excitement for other people, that this is gonna, with passion, with compassion, that this is gonna happen.
For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, that's the thing, because as I say, like maybe some people privileged than other, but still we have a responsibility to do so, to do something better, to think, to make it improve. Starting with our neighbor. Be more friend, and talk in the friendly way, and find we all together. As a human being, everyone is different, but you have to see the point that, and it's not the difference that we have, but what is the common thing we have together to make this thing to work, move forward. And if we focused on the color or the race or the gender, and there is so many, categories.
How you can exclude
But
people.
your own, like your background is your own thing. When it comes to the way, as individuals, it's an individual. But when it comes to the team, it's a teamwork. It's not like, okay, as a Diaz or as a Dursa, but we together as a team.
We have to unlearn to see everything in categories.
Yes.
But that's sadly a deepest nature of humanity, that when we get panic or when we're afraid, we tend to put everyone in a box.
Yeah, for sure.
And then these boxes have walls, and these walls can be thick, and then we shut us off. But we have to mingle, we have to fuse.
Yeah.
We are this people, and here's even extreme. We are so many different backgrounds on this small little rock, on this small little island. So
sure.
we better really are interested and curious and friendly and respectful with each other.
Yeah, sure. That's the thing, because if we really like close to each other, and then there's so many things that I can do for you that you can do for me. It's like about giving, taking. It's not about, okay, maybe only my side, or more, maybe only your side, but about like, okay, what about me, you can do together.
Totally.
And I think that's how I see it, and that's maybe how everyone need to see it.
Yeah.
And because the diversity is not only look up to the state, or the policy makers or individuals as a community, but to everyone as a families, everyone, young and old. And one person can change one thing in his environment or her environment that can help someone to understand, and we all together, and we are the same. It just maybe the skin doesn't make a difference. So yeah. And that I think how it should be. So
Similarities can help us to celebrate our differences.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly what
that's
you were
that's
saying.
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and then what is diversity? We discussed that in how it's beautiful to see the differences in wherever you want to see them in nationality. We can speak different language. I mean, but see it as something positive, see it as a gift, see it as a skill. Can we look at skills and not as, oh, that person has a darker skin color, I bet he doesn't even speak English, These things, don't judge me from the outside. This is something that where judgment starts, we get blind.
We get blind for sure, because that's the thing. By seeing, we can just put everyone in the box, or by seeing is everyone is is different, but what is make us different? The way we think, and the way we want to make a thing is sense for
and
everyone.
acceptance, as
Acceptance,
you said.
for sure, and where we going to come to the next point, and like if we see it. Culture, language, gender, race, and as one tools that accepting each other very simple way, and we all human being.
Totally.
As just one.
And it could be the most basic tool to just treat everyone as you want to be treated.
Want to be treated.
With respect. And I cannot believe when I see racism on open street. I cannot believe when I see sexism or other things, because I'm always like, wow, how insecure that person must be to need to put someone else down
Yeah,
to feel a little bit better
yeah,
about
for sure.
themselves. And that's really, that makes me so sad.
I was reading one book, is I don't know who, someone like this article saying like sometimes love is everything. People think, but love is a choose, but respect is everything.
Yeah.
But I choose to love you, but it is for me like some sort of mandatory to respect you, even if I don't love you. You know, because I want to. So I want someone to respect me, but if I don't respect someone, how so? You know, respecting the way I want to respect it is like the truth that make us accepting. I have to accept, and why I accept, because everyone on the same page, and you know, can be rich, can be poor, can be, you know, black, can be red, whatever, you know. Thus respecting bring us together and learning from each other, also contributing, you know. Eh, so that's how I see it, and that's how, you know, things maybe work it in my views. So yeah,
Respect is where we should start.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, great. So thank you for this and very and common sense things sharing, and it's really amazing.
Thank you for
So,
listening
yeah,
and for sharing and
yeah,
for
for sure.
respectfully
Yeah. So
sitting
thank
here
you.
and being curious about
Yeah,
each other.
great, cool.
Thank you.